Alright, we are recording, continuing in Going Medieval. Keys provided by Tinsley PR for Irregular Corporation. That's the publisher. Foxy Voxel is the developer. And this has actually been kind of a light week for game news, which I'm good with. I'm not complaining, because I've been busy with other things this week, including one review. Which, yeah, I think I can talk about it, since the embargo date... Did I explain last week or not? I don't remember now. Anyway, I got a review key. I think it may have been a couple weeks ago now. I don't remember. No, it would have been a couple weeks because it was literally like the Thursday or Friday before a weekend that I already had booked. I couldn't do it. And there was like no way I was going to hit the embargo. But I figured, well, it's Talos Principle 2, and I am interested in that game. I do want to do a review, but I have Talos Principle 1 and never played it. And there's no way I'm going to be able to make the embargo date. So I haven't finished writing up the Talos Principle 1 review, but that's what I've done. Hopefully I'll get that finished up today. I'm not sure when it will be ready to, when things may go live, because I don't think it should just be earliest time, since I don't know when I'll have the Talos Principle 2 review done, but I will be doing that shortly, I hope. And since I don't know when it'll be coming out and all that, I figured, I'm not going to say anything about my opinion on that review. I mean, it's like, no, you can wait. But it is still, because the embargo date is up, and I do fully and absolutely intend to do it. I don't mind saying that. Yes, I do. I will be reviewing Talos Principle 2. And that key was provided. Talos Principle 1, though, no, I bought that. Oh, wait, no. I forgot. I still have more to play. I keep forgetting. I finished the base game of the Talos Principle. There's still Road to Gehenna. I want to include that. So, but I'm going to finish up writing, because I'm just going to give like its own page to the Road to Gehenna. So I'm going to finish writing up the rest of the review. I don't know if I'll bother with if I'll do the conclusion or not before getting to Road to Gehenna, but that's right, I forgot I need to do that. So that'll be another day or two working in the game, not just on the review. Yeah, and actually, let me look at this. How is this looking? Still plenty to build in here, which there's plenty to do. Plenty of resources, I mean, for doing it. Oh, that's nice. Well, then let me... No, manage... Means I should have... Oh, yeah, that's right, actually. Okay. Okay. Yeah, that's stupid. I mean, still is, something might be worth doing to train somebody up. But I know I complained about it a few weeks ago, I think, that it's like they really do need a train thing. I'm sorry, if you're going to have where people have these different skill levels, you need the ability to train them. That shouldn't just be, oh, well, it's when they do work. It's like, for something like this, it's like, this is not normal work. Cooking, that's normal work. You can expect that to happen. But this, it's like, no, have them just build it, take it apart, build it, take it apart, build it, take it apart. No, make a training thing. It's very obvious. Boy, is it going to be interesting when I do a full review of this, because there's just so many things like that where it's like, why is it not this way? Okay, and you know what? Yeah, take care of that. Also things like that, where it's like, why are they hauling that stuff, not the animal that carcass has been sitting there for a while? The heck? Oh, that's right. I forgot. I'm also excavating down here. There. So once that gets built, I can excavate all around it. And you can get another level of that set up. Do I have anything? in here. Hang on, just yeah, close that. Okay, so anyway, what do I got in the news? Not, as I said, it hasn't been that too much news this week. Some neat stuff. Also, things like the release of the Talos Principle 2. But the two things I've noted here, one is GOG announced that both God of War and Uncharted Legacy of Thieves collection, which both released last year to PC, are coming to their DOM free catalog. So that's definitely neat, because since those were both PlayStation exclusive games, I mean, it was significant when they came to PC. And to be clear, this is well, not God of War Ragnarok. Is that what they called it? I think that's what they called its sequel. But it is he's now in Norse mythology. Kratos is in Norse mythology, so it's the one that released in 2018. I looked at them yesterday. I looked up this stuff yesterday. I think it's at 2018 is when that God of War originally released on PlayStation 4, came to PC in 2022, and it'll be coming to GOG sometime soon. They didn't say when, but it is coming. Alright, what the hell can I get going here? There is one thing I could try doing, which is like building an apartment complex for them, but I don't like the idea of spreading this out too much. I mean, it's like, where would I put it? Especially since I am so near the edge of the map. Like, I mean, see, I can't. I mean, I guess in theory I could. But I almost would want it to be where it's like I dig, because I'd probably have it be a tower. I kind of would want it to be then, like, dig down a good distance so I've got plenty of space. Although maybe that actually... Yeah, what all... Okay, so this is just dirt. But actually, now that I think about it, I kind of like that idea. How much brick do I have? Brick only 405, but how much limestone do I have? I bet I have a lot. It's silver. No, I actually don't have that much. Where can I get more? Because this is a lot of dirt. There's clay here. Actually, I should, like, really clear out in here. Yeah, that's a lot of clay. Coal, iron. Here's limestone. Here's more limestone. That's actually quite a bit of limestone, too. Oh, and I got... Oh, no, that's silver and limestone, but it still is a fair amount of limestone over here. Okay, so what I could do then is, like, get it started over here. And I kind of like the idea of having underground, just go beneath it, storage. So here, let me... Sure, do that. And this will eventually happen. Hey, I'm just trying to think, how much space do they need? So, bed, chair, wouldn't need a large table. There. Chair. And I could get fancy with the chairs. I didn't even notice that. Let's... Window... Well... Yeah. Window there. So behind the chair. Need to build that out. Now this is one difficulty. Is where do I put the door? I mean, it seems like I need to put it back here, which means I'll be building out this way, not this way. Unless I turn... Well, no, I'd still need a hall. I do like the idea of giving them apartments. In theory, they want that. But it's just actually organizing it to have it make sense is tricky. And I want it fairly dense. I mean, I'm sorry, I don't care about these people. I don't know why I would either. I mean, it's... Okay, so that lets it be pretty small. And it is also importantly, it can be rotated. By that I mean it's symmetrical. It's a nice little 3x3 spot. Window there. Door there. So then I could put another one here. But I can't put one here on its own. I would say I would need to make a hallway in here, and also I just remembered I need to put a torch in. That's... Is it? Okay, that is in here. Like that. So yeah, then I could also put one, build that out this way. Alright. Let's just do that then. I do wish you could just like copy and paste some stuff here. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh wait, no. It's actually not. It's only 4 because a wall is shared. So that's 4. Although I do need to put down a floor for them. There. And because I do want to put in a second level. Just trying to think, how do I want to achieve that? And it is technically, I could also, dig down here. It's just no one's gone down here yet. There. Window, 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 window. Okay. And I do not mind leaving it at that for now. And I'm thinking... Actually, because this is going to be going outside. something like that, it can totally be built. Right there. It absolutely... Well, oh wait, no. Well, I don't know. It's like, it should be able to... Well, I don't think that I have floor right there, but yeah, I'll be able to get that to work. But it doesn't need to actually get built. And who is it that has the 16 speech? Here you are. Probably nothing I really want. Not selling my chicken. I'm actually good with selling that because it was in such bad shape. Because they just kept not doing anything with it, even though they should have. I could get a sheep. I don't know how viable that is. Let me hit that. Let's see if I can actually manage that somehow. Sure. I don't need that spear. I could... Well, no. The silver I was thinking about. Not quite. How many? 74. That's not too terrible, really. But yeah, get a sheep. I'm not even sure what all use a sheep is, but I don't have one. I'm literally trading a dead fox and apples for a sheep. Okay. Oh, and a spear. Alright, manage, no, overview, domestic, where that sheep, here. Okay. Okay, so it's just I can get wool, that there's nothing, and then eventually also meat, but, you know. And one thing, oh, this is where that is, okay. Where, oof, it just hit winter. Here it is, okay. Then yeah, that can actually stay that way. So yeah, I talked about the GOG thing, and of those two, Uncharted and God of War, I think God of War is the only one I'm interested in, but I'm not sure. There was a part of me that it might just be because I'm getting old, and newer games aren't appealing to me quite as much, but it might also just be because I know the desktop isn't great for playing games. I mean, I love it, and it'll probably play God of War without problem, but it's like, yeah, do I really need to push it? I don't know, but maybe whenever the Framework 16, whenever that actually, yeah, that hasn't even hit mass production yet. I'll be honest, when I put down the $100, and I'm not complaining, but it's still, I was not expecting when I put in the order for that it's like, no, it's going to be months. Like, they haven't even finished all the development builds for it yet. It's like, really? But I mean, to be fair, I also do, the custom keyboard stuff, and group buys some of those are a lot sketchier than this. Yeah, it's always very sad when you see some of the news for group buys and such, and it's very clear that some places they do just take advantage of. It's like, hey, it's a neat product, give us your money, and we promise we'll get you the product, and then they never do. It can be very sad. Okay, do all that. Here's construction. Let's push that up. Hall can go up. It's like, get this stuff done. Oh, that's true. Also get that stuff done. But yeah, so my thinking here is I will build like on this side either a ladder or steps going up that gets to that floor. Um, and it could be a ladder because it's not like it's just going to be people going in and out. So I could do that, I think, but yeah. Oh yeah, and the other piece of news is the complete list of 10 games the Atari 2600 Plus will come with on its 10-in-1 game cartridge. That's been revealed, and we got Adventure, which, by the way, you may not have realized this, but the adventure genre is named after this game. It is also a completely appropriate name for the genre, but it is also named for this game. That was very appropriately named. And for anyone thinking that that's quite a coincidence, it's like the term one-hit wonders. Well, a one-hit wonder, the group that actually inspired was named the Wonders. I'm trying here. Let me actually look that up, since I mean, the game's easy enough to pause. Because they were one-hit wonder. They got one thing. Yeah, let me check. Let No, as I recall, it is the thing that actually came from was a group called the Wonders, because that's exactly what happened to them. They got one hit, and it was a huge thing, and that was it. Though they had nothing else, and they were called the Wonders. But as well, looking it up, here we go. Maybe this. Um, it seems to suggest that it's actually uh like there was a movie that had the Wonders in it, but that doesn't quite seem right. Oh, okay. It's, I'm not really finding it. Hmm. This is weird. Everything I'm seeing is just saying that it's like, oh yeah, it's just a saying. But no, I do remember at one point learning that no, the group, it was actually, that there was a one-hit wonder group that was the Wonders. And it's like, that's where the term really caught on. Because that's I mean, they had a single hit. Anyway. But it is still, I mean, the adventure genre is also named after Adventure the game. So it's not just it's a one hit wonder would just be another example of that. If I could find something confirming that, yes, the Wonders were the origin of that term. Um, but there's Adventure, Combat. I think you know what that game's about. Dodge 'em, Haunted House, Maze Craze, Missile Command, which I've played. Real Sports Volleyball, Surround, Video Pinball, and Yar's Revenge. Yar's Revenge, I think I might also have played. I'm not sure. But no, Missile Command, we didn't have an Atari 2600. We had, I think it's still in the basement, a Atari computer that it could take Atari 2600 cartridges and also 5.25-inch floppy disks that we also had games on. But no, I mean, we do have 2600 cartridges in the house that, in theory, the Atari 2600 Plus can take. Because that's part of its design, is it can actually work with the original cartridges. I got some. Well, at least I have access to some. I don't... As I said, I know we got Missile Command somewhere. I don't know if that's cartridge or disc. But I do very much... I played that. I remember it. Yar's Revenge, maybe. The description I saw in the press release sounded familiar. But I might be thinking of a different game that was just similar. But no, I mean, some of those I have not played. So it's like, but there's probably some of those cartridges that aren't on here either. So that's kind of neat. I will admit, I am tempted by the Atari 2600 Plus, but it is absolutely only for nostalgia purposes. Which is also why I have both the NES and SNES classics. And I haven't really done anything with those. I in no way regret having them, though. Because I did have the SNES. And so some of the games are on there, on the classics, so I can play them at my leisure. But there's also, I'd like to try like capturing some of those playthroughs. It's just I got other PC games I can play first, so it's one of those weird things where it's like, when I have more time, I got the time, I just am choosing to spend it in other ways. And I have a feeling that the Atari 2600 stuff doesn't connect with me like the NES and SNES do. So yeah, I don't think I would, but it still is. It's really neat. It really is a neat thing that they're doing that. I'm just trying to think anything else to mention on that. Not really. But one thing that it just occurred to me, that this as a feature would be excellent. They won't do it. I sincerely doubt that they would do it. It would be complex, but would be awesome. So, for this game. I mean for this game, not for the Atari 2600. See this? What the idea that just came to me is, imagine if I could assign this as a project where this is all considered one thing. And then I could say for the jobs, like a special projects column. Where I can say, do this project. So it's not I need to emphasize construction. It's not I need to emphasize hauling. It's not I need to emphasize complaints or whatever. It's no, emphasize this project. Everybody needs to work on, or certain people need to focus on this project and just do all the tasks associated with that. So I can set this to a priority. You could also therefore set, no, the farming here is another project. Do that. I mean, it legitimately is. The thing that most frustrates me about this game is I can see so many quality of life things that they make sense. And I fully acknowledge some of it would be difficult to implement. I know that. But still is this... I need to get a copy of Factorio and play that. I do have Dyson's Sphere program, and I do want to do that, but... just, this needs certain elements that I could see being part of... part of the conveyor belt type management and construction systems. Construction games, I mean. Could absolutely see that being a thing. That, just some of this stuff, like, no, this project, work on this project, do all this project. That stuff like that is we should have that. It's like, why don't we have it here? It would be so useful. Because then it could also be no, these four people do this. Everyone else can continue with the normal stuff. Which is also real. What? Okay, this I might need to add. Hang on. Huh? Yeah, I think I have to add this. What? Hang on, this might end up playing audio that I don't mean to, but... oh my god, this is hilarious. I'm definitely gonna have to add this into the weekly news thing. Apparently, Devolver Digital talked with Valve for the Talos Principle 2, And they actually have a trailer. GLaDOS plays the Talos Principle 2. And I'm not playing it, I'm just looking, like, if you mouse over the timeline in YouTube, it'll show you, like, a thumbnail from there. And it's got, like, a webcam type image of GLaDOS as seen in Portal 2 up in the upper right hand corner that is animating, and it's like giving opinions, I'm guessing. This has such potential for humor. Um yeah. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to look at that. I just realized I could do wooden walls inside instead of stone, which would save on the stone. It'd also make it a lot harder to construct. Well, for me to lay out, I mean. No. It's not worth it. It genuinely is just not going to be worth it. Yeah. So I'm now just going back to, and by the way, it was just, I got that email. I saw a pop up and it's like, Talos Principle 2 and GLaDOS. It's like, what the hell is this? I need to look. But, no, look, you know what? That's also what they need. That's in Minecraft. Compacted dirt, is that what they call it? Where you can basically set down paths, and it's like nothing is allowed to grow on this. Do you have any idea how useful that would be right here? Like, if I could put down something just to be like, yeah, no trees here. Boy, would that be useful. Anyhow, but yeah, and I will also admit that some of this is just me being, this is part of how my mind works, that I would want, that I'd be thinking through the systems of how to have this all make sense. And the fact that it doesn't, the fact that it can be so convoluted and contorted to try to get things done efficiently. And it's a game it's a management game. You need to be able to do things efficiently. It does annoy me. It really does annoy me that we basically just don't have it. Which is why, as I said earlier in this one as well, it'll be interesting when I do a full review of this game, because there are going to be so many quality of life things I will tear into it about if aren't there. And I have no reason to believe that they will be. And I'm not saying that as an insult. I'm saying that as just we haven't gotten these changes yet. Why should I expect them to come in the future? But it is, it's part of how my mind works. I need to think through these different systems, and when I see a weakness, I want to try to solve it. And I see a lot of quality of life weaknesses here, so I think of solutions to it that, yeah, as I've always said, I acknowledge that they would be that they can easily be quite difficult to implement. That doesn't mean they wouldn't be valuable. And I can't pull up the roadmap here, but just there are some things where it's like, okay, why was that implemented? Why is this content being added when this is still such a freaking mess? Oh, and I also just remembered I didn't finish talking about maybe when I get the Framework 16, or yeah, because that at least I could more comfortably play on. The test system, no. Yeah, the test system is not, because it's like the keyboard for that needs to sit in my lap, kind of thing, and the mouse is like not better. I have had to play games on it to review, but I hate doing it. It's just so uncomfortable. Maybe in a different time, like if I had a larger place and could actually set up the test system as its own computer, not just a thing sitting there, that I use for brief spurts, essentially. I mean, yeah, it can take me, a full week that I'm on it doing performance analysis. But it still is, and then I'm back to normal things. I'm not spending. It's not I do work on the desktop. I play on the test system, but it's like that. If I could set that up, that wouldn't be bad. It's just I can't. I can't do that as it is. Um. Where Huh, okay, I still actually have a good amount of limestone block. You know, that would be another advantage too if you could have a project thing, is it could tell you then how much these materials are, which that is kind of taking from Satisfactory. Once they added the ability to I can't remember the name of it. Blueprint system. I just don't remember the name of the thing that you actually build the blueprints in. But it's like that, it tells you what it all needs. Also, you have the checklist thing where you can put, hey, I want to build this, and it tells you what all you need. That's awesome. That's also not truly a management game, because you have to do everything, or you and your friends have to do everything. It's only player people, it's not NPCs. But stuff like that would be even more valuable in this game, because it is so much management. Okay, so these will not be declared bedrooms until the floor up here is put in on all of them. That's okay, so that is what's happening there. I think if I do something like this, though, oh, that's not good. Yep. The heck? Huh. Okay. I mean, in theory, I can get that warmer. I'm not sure how, but see, chamber. Because they closed up there. Alright. Well, if it can't get suitably warm, then I can do this. And yeah, well, it's occupied by something that's going to be moved. I know, it's now the middle of the night. Yeah, that's true. I already actually have something down here, so I could also start excavating underneath for some kind of storage. Hey, it's cold. Does that mean... Come on. Hey! It can actually start making it. You know what? I'm just going to say forever. Because what the hell? Why not? Just keep making it. Make as much ice as you can. I've got no idea where it'll go. I've got no idea what use it'll be, but at least I'll have it. And I think that would be under crafting. So sure, push that up all the way. Wait, what? What the hell are you doing? I was like, she ran over here with nothing, did nothing, and then just ran right back. That is not a... Oh, well, no. I get why it's not been labeled chamber, because it doesn't have the bed in there yet. Okay. So I got one. There. So now in oh, wait, now it's... Well, it might go cold again once it's night, which would defeat the purpose of the bed. Okay, that should now have it. Yeah, that's still pretty cold, but... Window is closed. What happens if I do set that to... How long does it take to warm up? What? Lacks fuel. It literally is burning right now. How do you say it lacks fuel? What are they doing? It's like they keep running in here and then doing nothing. Chamber awful. What does that even mean? Okay. So I'm getting some understanding there. That would also... well, you have things like that would help. Oh, that's part of the reason why. Is that they're just not doing anything with that. So that down, that down, that down. Cut plants can go up. Actually, Hall should stay up. Do. So I just wanted to see what the timer said on OBS. Actually, what happens if I... Okay. But if I deconstruct that, then I will be able to put a ladder there. Yeah, it can be, just not yet. I actually know that. Well, they literally ran over here to eat. Wow. Alright. Getting this area cleared out. How is the... and that's also finally cleared. Still freezing, but actually these can be very high because of what I intend to do with them. And let's just start assigning people to the beds so that they actually get used. But in theory, they should prefer that to here. At least in theory. Wait, what? Why is anybody on that? Yeah, use a cap. Wear white hat. It'll never decompose because it's too cold. Even though it isn't. Actually, it is warm enough down here. It should be. There, so that the bed will get done. Comes in, hits one nail, leaves. Okay. There. So is spaciousness... Okay. 3 rooms. Yeah, because I only gave him 1. I guess in theory then, if I just extended this down 1, that would make them happier. But still, I don't really care. I don't doubt that this... They actually like this. I'm fine then. I'm if they want to use it, they can use it. If they don't, they don't. Oh. What? Oh, I didn't even realize that was the case. I'm a little curious. How are the crops doing here? They actually are working. But let's do that to help with the temperature down here some. How's it like? Well, I mean, it's... I'll grant it's winter, but... Okay, so these aren't stunted. Those are not stunted. That's stunted. So do different plants just have different sensitivity to sunlight? I mean, technically that's realistic, but why? It's a video game. And especially, is that communicated anywhere? I don't see anything suggesting that. And I would understand if that is the case. I just think that that's stupid. So, wait, no, that's fine. That's, I don't remember what all I changed. Cut plants is still elevated. Okay. I'm trying to get all the salt, which actually I should, like, open this up. Just do it that way. It's not like I can't use the limestone. Well, why did you do that, you idiot? Although that is true. If she can just break through here now. No. You focus on this. I mean, seriously, that's just stupid. It's like, let me just mine myself in. Okay, what have we got underneath? That is dirt. Okay. Yeah, that's here. And that's also okay. Which means I can do that. I think I can do that as well. Yeah, that looks like it is just dirt. Yeah. Which then does mean I can skip all that. I can skip that as well then. Since I don't even know if they'll be used. And also, just turn those off. And they contribute some to the heat, but I think it's mainly the light. Oh, I never turned off. Turn that off. Ah. Okay, you're the idiot. See, I can't feel bad for them because it's like you're the one who mined behind you so you can't get out and also didn't finish filling things in. Okay, so construct is already elevated. Do that. And she got out. So it's clearly able to just decided, no, I'm just going to collapse here. Thought about just filling it in, but I can't trust that'll work. There. As in, they might do it in the wrong order and break things. Well, if you're hungry, eat. We do have plenty of food. Okay? Like, we're practically running over with it. And when did this happen? And also, who's best for cooking? Lena's good. Ooh, it is you. That's really handy. That's literally the person right by here. But no, it's. I want you to do. Why do I not have options here? No. Prioritize production. What? What are you doing? I tell you to do something. Go do something else. And it's taking the cat. Also true. I do have the smoker as well. We're trying to preserve that meat. Okay, and this is stupid. Okay, I mean, this legitimately is. Select everything. Set it to high. No, somehow set to something else. There. Here, actually, set it to very high. Because I kind of don't want the cats eating that food. I should really just start getting rid of the cats. Good. That. Oh, you totally have access to it. No, you absolutely have access to it with that. I mean, I guess if I have to, I can do this. Let's just throw down another there. I had a feeling it was going to be something that stupid. There. So try for the hardest stuff first, essentially. I should actually be stopping soon. I'm sure I've been going long enough. Now, let's see if I can get this filled in, and then I need to fix up the job priorities. Put those back to how they were. Okay, if that's true, then I shouldn't have any gold ore, which I do have. Well, silver ore, which I do have. And so it's just so annoying because it's like this is set up for macro management, but there's so much micromanagement that's needed. And I genuinely don't feel that the game fully supports the micromanagement stuff in a broadly accessible fashion like that. And there is like mid management kind of stuff that like a projects system would say, hey, this is all one project, do this, assign people to this. That would be great, but it's don't have that. And it's also what I mean here, fine, I'll push that up. Maybe that stuff will finally be moved. What the hell are you waiting? So that's at least scheduled. You know, hit that up, yeah. I'm sorry, it's just, I kind of would like it if some of that stuff actually got taken down. Okay, so that was a tree over here being chopped. Now that one. And they can get down there. There is a ladder that they can use. Although maybe they can't. Maybe it needs to be turned or something. Hang on just a second. Overview. That's domesticated, and you know what? I actually don't want that trained into a pet. Same with the sheep. If there's a cat, why not have it on vermin control? I really want this stuff taken out. You know what? No. You. Then she needs to get it done. I'm sorry, that is also just so stupid. It's like, oh yeah, you put up the structure around it to build a thing, but that's a separate thing from actually building it. So you can't have somebody come up, put up the structure, and then immediately start doing it. They put up the structure, leave, then have to come back. Why? Why add in this extra step that just is so frustrating? It's like, okay, now it should be possible for them to get in here and chop that stuff down. I don't remember which that is. That is off of botany. Okay. So you're just not gonna do what I'm telling you to do. No, no, no. You don't get to have anything at the moment. You have work until I say otherwise. Enjoy. No, I'm telling you to work. Go and do it. What is she? What the hell is she doing now? If you can't reach it, tell me that. Because it does tell you when you can't reach things. It's like, no, I can do this. It's my order is just being ignored. There is no other description of what is going on there than that. None. Oh, no, yeah, she can't reach it. Because it's put in a bad spot. Because I didn't notice that that was there. They can't reach the thing, in other words. That down is actually this I wanted to. It still is. I was like, it should have been saying that, oh, I can't reach these when the ladder was there. I mean, I'm sorry, these are not like, oh yeah, we should really fix it. This game has been out for a while in early access, right? There's a lot of quality of life stuff that is inexcusable that hasn't been addressed. Why are you upset? I've not been forcing you to do anything. I was like, Kalina being angry at me would make sense, but she's not. She's not happy at the moment, but... I'm working on the room of your own. Well, I mean, actually, yeah, you're just free to go and take it if you want. So it's also, I mean, think about that. It's like, no, you're free to have a room of your own if you want, and they're right here, and it's like, no, I'm not doing that. It's like, hey, we're building all these really advanced, neat things, so isn't it neat how much like a simulator it is? Yeah. Have it actually work. Did you see what just happened there? Could have done that from up here. Nope, has to take the long, hard way back. See, I mean, it's like, this is literally what I was just talking about. Yeah, I'm going to save you. That's like, you're making this like fancy dancy, it isn't a neat simulator thing, but then you have such stupidity in it and a lack of the quality of life stuff that you need to really support a simulator level experience. And I'm sorry, I do consider that. I'm trying to think how best to explain that. I know. Oh yeah, this is definitely going long. There's a point I make in the Talos Principle review, since I've already written part of it, that I really do like a lot of the puzzles, but there was one in particular that I do call out as bad design. And I describe it in there, and the reason there is there are certain visual cues that it's not applying correctly. Where it's like, no, there's every expectation that you can't do this, but no, that's the very thing you need to do. Why would you ever think that? We've been trained not to think that way. There is an element of, and I also do talk about, because I saw something a few weeks ago, trying to make fun of video games and gamers, that you like need ladders painted a certain color, or ledges. I specifically use ledges as the example, marked a certain way to know you can climb up. And it's like, look how stupid gamers are because they need to be told. It's like, no, you don't understand. That you can encounter a ledge in a game where if I were physically at that location, even with my lack of physicality and athleticism, I would still be able to climb up that. Okay, I would still be able to manage that. But in a game, that's no, you just can't do it. So you actually do need things marked. You do need those visual cues, because the default in many cases is you can't do this. So you need to be told when you can. And it's like, there is, I've talked about it in previous things as like a contract between the developer and the player, for it's like, we want it to be realistic, but that's not actually achievable. So we're doing these things that we hope will be realistic so that it meets your expectations. You know, kind of like with the whole, I'll talk about with some games, the graphics are good and you kind of stop noticing them. That's actually a good thing. That it's kind of that same kind of idea there, in that it's good. That contract, as I described it, is good when you fail to realize it's there anymore, because it's like it's meeting all your expectations exactly as you want. With a simulation game, I feel that is more necessary than other games, because you're trying to simulate reality, so it needs to be realistic. It's not realistic, like what we just saw there, that, hey, I need a ladder built here. You can do that from the top and build it down instead of being at the base and build up. All right, well, I'm going to go down, go through this area that's going to have me be really slow so I can build it from the top. Why would you do that? Build it from the top. That's how that first ladder you just went down was built. I mean, it's like, you really, really need to get that stuff right. And I really feel that Going Medieval hasn't achieved that in too many places. Because it might be quality of life stuff, but it is, as I was just saying, with a simulator, I feel like you can't suffer a lack of quality of life features. You can in other games, but not so much for a simulator, because it's that whole, what is the player expecting to be able to do? How are they expecting to get it done? If you're not because that's how you'd get it done in real life. If you're not satisfying that, then how's the game actually good compared to other games? And I'm just trying to think, what other simulator type games do I have? I mean, in some ways, Satisfactory is kind of like that. I mean, it's not a great example because you don't have the NPC management, but you do have to manage laying out the conveyor belts. You have to be able to expect things behave a certain way there, and if they don't, that's a problem. But it's still that's a poor example because it's not a very strong simulator. I really do want to play Dyson Sphere Program, which would be like that because you are managing groups of people. And I know I've played others. I'm just trying to think what are some of them. Because it's in some cases also just been a while. That's true. Things like Civilization, the Civilization games, those would also be kind of like that. Because you do need to manage the cities and such, but the cities also should be able to manage themselves. And there's some aspects of, let's focus mainly on Civilization 5, because that I've got 246 hours in. I also have Civilization 6, but only by 11 hours in. The one thing that annoys me in that game, and I can shut up after this one, and it is like legitimately hey, Firaxis, Civilization 7, when you do that, assuming they do, do it this, include this feature. Or Stardock, when you do Galactic Civilizations games, include this. And I don't think it's in Supernova. But it always annoyed me in Civ 5, where I'd put down a new city and my border would expand. And then I get a message from another civilization saying, hey, those are lands that we claimed. How dare you take our land? It's like, there's no way to mark that. You have no way of knowing what another civilization thinks is their land. And you have no way of saying, hey, we want this. Where it's not annexed as in ready for development, but it's we're claiming this because we want to expand to that. I guess the closest historical analogy I can think of, or at least the first one I can think of, is like the Louisiana Purchase. That is, when we purchased that land from the French, it was now American territory. That meant we were free to do whatever we wanted with it. It would be a while before we did, but that was ours. Like the idea of a territorial line and an actual development line is entirely appropriate in a civilization type game, but I don't know of one that actually does it, and it's very annoying because no, I want that, and I think actually in GuestJim 3, because I've spent more time with that than GuestJim 4, had a similar thing where it's no, this is the area that I want, and just let me have that. I don't have anything active right there, but that's the border I want. There's no means of negotiating that. And I feel that is something that should be implemented in those games. That's no, we this land we want, you can have that land. I mean, just think of the advances in negotiation there, especially if you had something like a border area, or to use Star Trek terminology, a neutral zone. Because if you, in TNG, neutral zones are just kind of, it seems more just a line or a space where battle-ready starships are not allowed to pass through. But in Deep Space Nine, with the Maquis, it's no, there was actually settlements in the neutral zone, both human and Cardassian, or Federation Cardassian. And it's you could have, that would actually be very interesting, is the idea that you could have a Federation settlement in an area where it's yeah, we want to be able to develop in there, but we're not claiming it. It's a neutral zone. You can also have settlements there. And I was that would actually make a lot of sense, because then you could have economic trade, but also cultural trade there. That would be a fascinating thing to have put into a video game. I can't think of any that does that. But it's that kind of, you're in a simulation, and you're starting, in that case with Civilization, you're putting demands on the player, something that you're not communicating to them. So that is a significant problem. I don't remember if when I wrote the Civ 5 review, if I mentioned that. I may have, because I know it's been a peeve of mine for a long time, and not a pet peeve, right? It's bigger than a pet. But with going medieval, it's got too many things that are also like that, where it's why is it this way? Why can't I have control like this? Why are you making the controls in this way, but then expecting me to be able to do things that don't align with that? It's it's that whole coming back to that contract thing. It's you expect me to do things, but then you don't design the tools to allow me to do those things in an efficient way. It's that's not enjoyable. And now I'm actually a little curious. I maybe shouldn't do this No, it is actually ranked very positive. The release date is June 1st, 2021, though, so this is over 2 years old in early access for Going Medieval. And it's got very positive, but there's just so many quality of life things that have been this way since it launched. And it really does annoy me, because I'm just trying to think, how can I see the road? Oh, okay, here we go. The current roadmap, they have fire and flammability, raiding other settlements, ruins, prisoner system, mounted siege weaponry, grand objectives, religious influence, vassal systems, natural caves, plus much more. But it's like ignoring the plus much more. Those are things still to check off. But we don't have, the job system is still crap. It's been crap since the beginning. But we have gotten shelves and weapon racks. Okay, shelves make sense. It increases the storage density. I'm good with that. Trading and merchants. Yeah, because in theory, there's a limited number of resources. You need some ability to trade. Caravans. It's kind of part of trading and merchants. Settlement diplomacy. I've yet to actually set things up so I can communicate with other settlements, which are all NPC, by the way. It's not multiplayer, is my understanding. Map factions. What? I don't see how that's really necessary. Advanced cultivation. What is advanced? No, I'm like legitimately asking that question. What is advanced here? Because it's like I can do the trees and such, but the trees suck. Because it's like, yes, I want this area for trees. You're putting them in so compactly that I actually don't see it listed here. But the whole sunlight thing, it doesn't work. It's incompatible there. So it's not advanced yet. It's like we had the ability, you could select a grid, and it's like, okay, in this area, do things. It's like, yeah, but advanced would be, yeah, and also you do have controls. I guess that might be what they're saying is advanced, where it's like, let this go to seed, let that just be harvested when it's ripe. I guess maybe that, but it's like, for trees, you need a lot more. The trees are still really basic, and as I was just saying, it's not compatible with the sunlight system, so you need to fix that. Taming of wildlife. Okay, no, I'm good with that being there. Animal husbandry. Technically, taming wildlife would be under that. I mean, yeah, animal husbandry is specifically about the breeding, but I mean, you'd still need some ability to tame, and it's like, it's neat and all, but at the same time, taming wildlife would be nice if you could also have a trap specifically set to capture wildlife to then train it. I was like, a wild cow appears, you go and you domesticate it. That's real easy. But I want to train wolves. I want to train foxes. How do I do that? How do I have some sort of trap that is non-lethal so they can be trained? Do I have a method of that? No. So training wildlife is not even fully explored. And I get the whole, but that's why would you need that? It's like, but I want that. What that's unreasonable. We've had traps for a very long time. I don't remember if they are from the start of the game or not. But a non-lethal trap specifically for training wildlife would make absolute sense to have at that checkmark, but it's checked off anyway. Settler social interactions. No. I'm sorry, we have that, but it's one of those, no. The job system is way more important than that, but that's checked off. Accumulating snow. Again, job system more important than that. Organic dirt paths. Absolutely the job system, because that's just, you saw as they were going over to the apartments I was building, that's like the grass, the ground was turning brown instead of green for the grass. That's what they're talking about there. That's just a neat visual effect, like accumulating snow. This has no real benefit to the game other than visuals, and the job system is crap. So fix the job system. Terraforming, that's nice, that you can now actually control dirt. You can, fill in dirt, you can build the dirt ramps. Okay, that's good. Ladders, too, because that's another check mark. Yes, that is actually truly improving the quality of the game. But taming wildlife is not fully thought out. Shelves and weapon racks, that's helpful. Trading merchants, it's addressing an issue that could also be addressed in other ways, potentially, but settlement diplomacy, why don't we fix up your managing your own settlement? First, map factions, same thing. Advanced cultivation, we can do better. I mean, and then the things yet to do. And it's like, I'm sorry, the game legitimately could use such a quality of life overhaul. And it's for things that have been there for over 2 years now. I mean, I said it before, I'll say it again, and I'm sure I will say it many times yet to come. It'll be very interesting when I do the release review of this, the version 1.0 release, review of it because there's just so many ways that I see it being weak, that I see it having issues, and I'm not going to tolerate it at that point. I'm really not. That is one thing with early access that I can believe some developers are abusing this, where they are like, hey, it's a way for us to get money when we don't have the full thing done yet. That would be kind of an abuse. And I'm not saying that's the case here. I'm just saying that is an issue with early access, that you can put out a product that has issues in it, and you're letting people see that, and it's like, right now, if they fix that stuff, I'll be much happier. Like, if the game were released and it was in this state, I would be unhappy with it, but I have no expectation of it being fixed. I wouldn't. But this, I do feel that there is reasonable expectation for things like this to be fixed or changed, improved. But at the same time, it's 2.5 years almost and nothing. So for the specific concerns I have, yes, they've done a lot. But for the specific concerns I have, it's like, no, you haven't satisfied for me yet. So yeah, I want the stuff improved. I genuinely do. I want all games to be great. That's part of why I do the reviews the way I do them. I try to think of them, even though I'm not necessarily achieving them at that level. I think of them more as critiques, where it's like, I'm telling you not just if I like a game or don't like a game, I'm telling you why I like the game or why I don't like the game, and what I'd like to be different. Okay? So like using that one Talos Principle puzzle that I mentioned, there were certain visual cues. If they just changed what the visual cues were at that time, and they exist in the game, it was literally based on the type of wall being shown, that I was being cued to believe I could not do something. If they were just using a different type of wall there, then I would have known. And to be fair, yes, that would diminish the significance, the difficulty of the puzzle. But it still is it would make it from something I have no reason to believe I can do something important in, to, oh, now I know I am allowed to do this very thing that I need to do. That's a huge, huge difference. And that's why I call that one bad design. But it was like, I don't mind saying this. I think that one, maybe one or two other puzzles in the whole of the Talos Principle, haven't done Road to Gehenna yet, but maybe one or two were at that level where it's like, I would call it bad design. One or two. Well, 2 or 3. It's like that, the one I mentioned in the review, that I did write up in the review, because it stuck with me, and then 1 or 2 more. That's it. Everything else I struggled with, it's no, I know that's because of me. It's like, I don't think that way. And I talked about that in the review. So yeah, hopefully that'll be out before long, and I've given you a nice teaser, so you'll want to read it. I don't know. I don't know when that may come out, because I need to finish writing it. I need to do Road to Gehenna. And there's also, I think I want the Talos Principle 2 review ready before that necessarily goes live. Before the Talos Principle 1, so I don't prime that, hey, this one is coming, and then it's like so many weeks away for one reason or another. So we'll see how that goes. Excuse me. All right, I have definitely been talking more than long enough. Yeah. I can't help but keep thinking about the changes I would love to see in Going Medieval, and just how its future may end up being. Because I am very curious. I want to see it be the best it can be. I just don't know if it'll actually achieve that. Alright, that's enough of my jabbering. See you next week.